quarantine, my friends and I have been doing some bake sales to raise money for like good causes. And I decided for our third one, we should vlog it and show people our process and how much money we end up raising and the whole organization of it and just like behind the scenes and everything. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first things first is the setup. The first thing I need to organize obviously was a group of people, since I didn't really want to carry out a whole bake sale on my own. So for the very first bake sale, I reached out for my friends on my Discord server, and luckily they were willing to contribute to this. So we made it a whole like group project sort of thing, and we organized everyone into 3 teams. So the first thing was gathering people and then getting them jobs. So we had the communications team, the delivery team, and the bakers. The communications team would take the orders that we got and talk to the people who ordered them, saying their order has been processed and like whenever the order was ready and everything. And they also answered questions whenever people had questions, and yeah, just communicated to everyone who wanted to order our baked goods. And then we had the delivery team, number 2. We had the delivery team who biked the orders around because we didn't really have access to cars. So they would take the orders from my house, which was like the processing center or whatever, and they would bike it around and deliver it, because this is a socially distant time and we can't really have everyone gather in one place to buy it directly here. So the delivery team did that, and that was like pretty crazy because I know they biked a lot, and of course it was over the summer, so the weather was kind of insane. And then the third team was the bakers. So the bakers would bake the stuff. They were in charge of choosing what to put on the menu, baking the stuff on the menu, putting the ingredients into a Google Docs in case like anyone had questions about it. They were in charge of the prices so that we could know how much it would cost to make each thing, and then how much we would profit off of it, and then all the profit would be donated to wherever we're donating during that bake sale, you know. So everyone who took part in these bake sales, it was a lot of work. It was really a lot of work. I remember the first one, it was like overwhelming how many orders we got, so the bakers were like a little stressed and everything about how much we need to bake, but we powered through it. And after we ran out of stock, then we just contacted people, hey, we're out of this, and it all went well. We made a lot of money still. That was great. After we assembled these 3 teams, we needed to actually organize the system in which we would process the orders and organize everything. So this is like kind of boring to explain, but basically we put up a Google Doc that like took people's orders in, and then that fit into a Google Sheet which had like their name, their contact info, their order, their total. We also had the option for people to donate extra money to whatever charity we're doing at the time, and then also their address if they wanted delivery. So we also did have preferred times, so that in case people weren't home, then they could choose a specific time for us to come and deliver. But like I said, some people weren't home during their preferred time, so it was kind of awkward. But I think it was really well thought through, and it was a lot of work to even just make the Google form. We had to make a nice looking menu, and then we had to make advertisements. So we had flyers which were like explaining who we were, like what the bake sale was for, and then we would introduce whatever organization we were donating to and what they did. I think Haley did the best job of doing those, because afterwards I did the flyers and didn't really explain, but I just provided their website. You know, if they want to know more, they can click on the website link. It's okay. So at that point, we kind of had a lot to handle. You had to know what your job consisted of, what needed to be done, what the links to the Google Sheet and the Google Doc were, so that you could like send it to people. But then you also need the contributor link to everything so you could edit things. And then you also needed to have like the flyer so you could post it, and then FAQ if anyone needs to, you know, explain to other people what we're doing. So we compiled all of that onto a Google Doc so that we could just like copy, paste, send, and everything. We also just threw it into a text thread in the Discord, so that helped too. So the way we processed orders for the first and second one, I believe, was we took a couple days of pre-orders, and then once we actually started the bake sale, all the pre-orders would be delivered, and then people could still put in some orders afterwards, and then they could be delivered right away, you know. I think for the third bake sale, we just had pre-orders only because it got a little overwhelming having to deliver to people so last minute. But yeah, we worked it out. It was all right. So for the actual packaging, we needed to have tags. So this bake sale, they were made by Nico. The first one, they were made by Haley, and then the second one, they were made by Anisha, I think. I remember making some, but I think it was made by Anisha. And they're really cute. So the tags are really cute. The packaging was good, even though we were kind of cheap on the packaging. I think it still looked like really good. So for the next section, we're going to talk about the baking. For this specific bake sale, I made cereal bars and meringues, and Haley made brownies and snickerdoodles. But in previous bake sales, we've had like those giant chocolate chip levain cookies and peanut butter cookies, cake pops, whatever. It would take a lot of time to be baking all those orders, especially because the first bake sale we did, there were so many orders, and it was just very hard to keep up with. I would stay up until like 10 or 11 just baking to fulfill those orders, and then I would stay up even longer to actually package them, because people would bring their baked goods and just like drop them off at my house, and then I would still have to package them per person, because obviously people are gonna order multiple types of baked goods. So I had to do that and then attach like the receipt tag thing on it that said like the totals and stuff, and I had to write some of those, but luckily I had Nico, Anisha, and Haley to like do the ones for the pre-orders and everything. So that was great. Yeah, I think the next thing to talk about is the delivery. So what we did was, when people wanted to pick up their orders rather than get them delivered to their house, we would like, the communications team would send them the address, and then they would come pick it up within the hours of 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then when they got deliveries, we would deliver them from, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on bike. And I was able to drive a couple because my parents helped me out and everything. That was great. But yeah, we biked, and we had a couple people on the delivery team, so that was good. Of course, we're still in socially distant times, so always had to wear a mask when we were delivering and not linger around when we delivered to people. And I think that we were really good about that. I don't really know what else there is to say about delivery, but I know for me, it was pretty hard. I only biked to a couple places that were like far, but I know Pavan and Shane were biking to like further places, and it was hot because it's summer, and it was just crazy. I'm just super glad that I had people to help with that, because that was insane. And I'm super proud of everyone who did like, every job, whatever. Everyone was great. Very glad, very grateful. After all the deliveries were made and the bake sale was over, we calculated the amount that we actually made. So we counted through that, and then we did the calculations on the Google Sheets of how much like supply money we have to keep, and then how much money we actually made to donate to the organizations. And it was a lot. So for this bake sale specifically, I had to donate through the Lebanon Red Cross app. So I did that, and first we made like little, I don't think we did this for this bake sale actually, but for the first two, I remember we made little thank you cards that I think me and Aria sent out to everyone. Yeah, counting all three of the bake sales, we made over $1,000 total, and that's insane for a group of teenagers. Literally, we just got on a Discord server, decided, hey, we're gonna raise some money, and we did it. We made over $1,000 over the three bake sales over the summer. Just like during our free time. A few of the people, even though it's quarantine, they had other commitments to do, they were still able to focus on this bake sale, contribute to this bake sale without it getting in the way of their other commitments, and we were able to make it all work. So that was actually incredible. All right, so this is a little bonus section in case you are also like someone like our Discord group and you're in high school, middle school, and you don't have the facilities to do a lot of volunteering, protesting, donating, because obviously during a pandemic, not all of that is accessible right now. It's not all the safest option, and obviously if you're younger, you're not gonna have a lot of money to be donating. So there's always ways that you can organize groups in your community to do something like this. Like honestly, my group of friends, we're literally just a Discord server. It wasn't like we're some sort of like special activist group you have to apply for and stuff. No, honestly, just get your friends together. If they share the same ideas as you, then you can definitely come up with a way to raise money or take action or educate other people, or just honestly just share ideas, research with each other on stuff like this. If you have any sort of group at all, even if you want to do it with your family, if your family is supportive of you and they have the time to be doing that stuff, then go right on ahead. And if you are not able to do anything in person, which there's a lot of things to do in person. I went to like this virtual teen leadership summit, and one girl during like when quarantine first started, she had a drive-by concert where she sat outside in her driveway and played her instrument, invited her friends to come and listen. They would drive by, give her money, and then watch her play a little bit and then go. And then so she did that for like a day. She donated all the money that she got to COVID relief funds. So that was like a really good idea. And then there's also stuff like this, like a bake sale. I think this was kind of like on a larger scale of a fundraiser because it involves so many people, and we did multiple of them, obviously. I know there's a lot of people who don't have the money to contribute to this type of stuff, and they contribute in other ways. They do research, they write articles, and they share that sort of stuff. Like they share knowledge with the people they know, and they spread this stuff over social media, and they just raise awareness, and that's wonderful. That contributes a lot too. There's also ways you can help raise money online too. I know there's a lot of YouTube channels that have videos where the ad revenue is donated to a specific organization, but you can also help by linking those videos and sending them to people. You can help by just watching those videos, and that's amazing because then everyone can get involved. I'm probably gonna end up cutting out a lot of the stuff here because I'm rambling for way too long. I might make a separate video about this if the viewers want to have a separate video about how to make money as like a high school student for charity. You can get involved in so many different ways, and I think that's the whole theme of this. I also ran a little bit of like my own bake stuff, and people had the option to donate to Unbound, which is a great organization. You should look into it. I'll link their website in the description, and that just adds on to our total amount that we made. But this wasn't really a group thing, so I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video. Can you tell me what you just did?
I blew my nose on a leaf.
How'd it feel?
Painful. It's like blowing your nose with sandpaper.
Pleasant.